Prambanan Temple is located in the city of Yogyakarta. This is the 9th century Angkor Wat in Indonesia. Prambanan Temple is often called the twin temple of Angkor Wat in Cambodia because of its similarity in shape and pattern. If you have been to Angkor Wat before, this is like a continuation of that adventure. Like Angkor Wat, the Prambanan Temple's skills and design features are impressive. You will feel like you have gone back in time. Prambanan is one of the most famous temples in Indonesia. Prambanan is a group of temples or candi built by Hindu dynasties in Java in the 8th and 9th centuries. Prambanan is one of the largest Hindu temple complexes in the world, with more than 500 temples and shrines, and it sports a group of pointed towers that rise 50 meters or 165 feet high. The temple was severely damaged over the centuries by earthquakes and volcanic eruption, and was eventually abandoned in the jungle and surrounded by legends and myths. The ruins were discovered in the 1800s by a British explorer, but proper restoration work only started in the 1930s under the Dutch colonials. Prambanan has in recent years had a lot more restoration work than Angkor, which does make it feel a bit less authentic than Angkor Wat. However, you can still expect to see some of the same stunning architectural styles, with unique towering stone buildings and Hindu stone carving.
The original plan of Prambanan Temple is rectangular, consisting of an outer courtyard and 3 courts, namely Anjaba or outer court, Tengahan a middle court, and Jeron inner court. And then the outer courtyard on Anjaba is an open area that surrounds the outer court. The outer court is oblong with the area of 390 hectares, and this court was also surrounded by a stone fences but is now ruined. The outer court was currently only empty. It has yet to be discovered whether there were buildings or the decoration in this courtyard. In the middle of the outer court, there is a second courtyard. The namely is the central courtyard, which is rectangular in 222 hectares. The central courtyard was surrounded by a stone fence which is now in ruins. This court consists of 4 terraces. The deeper, the higher, and then on the first, the lowest terrace, there are 16 small temples divided into 4 rows with connecting road between the corridors. On the second terrace, there are 16 temples. On the third terrace, there are 52 temples. And on the fourth terrace, or the third terrace, there are 44 temples. All the temples in the central court have the same shape and size. Namely, the ground plan area is 6 hectares, and the height is 14 meters. Almost all of the temples in the central courtyard are currently in the state of disrepair. All that remained are the ruins. The inner courtyard was supreme and considered the holiest place. This court is in the from a rectangular plan with an area of 110 meter hectare with a height about 1.5 meter hectare from the surface of the upper terrace of the central court. And then the court is surrounded by plaster and stone fence. On all four sides there is a gate in the front of the Paraduka gates. The gate on the south side is still intact. In front of each gate at the top of the courtyard, there are a pair of small temples with the square base layout 1.5 meter hectare and 4 meter height in the temple.
On the inside, there are two rows of temples stretching from north to south. In the west row, there are 3 temples facing east. The northernmost temple is the Vishnu temple, the Shiva temple in the middle, and the Brahma temple in the south. In the east row, there are also 3 temples facing west. There are 3 temples are called vehicle temple. Vehicle is vehicle because each temple is named after an animal, which is the mount of God whose temple is located in front of it. The decoration of Prambanan temple are sculpted magnificently and subtly. The decorative motif include human body motif, half human, half animal motif, and plant motif. The uniqueness of Prambanan temple can be seen in its specific decoration, namely a lion nature flanked by Kalpataru tree with lotus flower, under which are Kinari, demigod human being. This motif is characteristic of the Prambanan motif because it is not found in other temples. The temple facing the Vishnu temple is Garuda temple. Opposite the Shiva temple is the Nandios temple, and opposite the Brahma temple is the Swan temple. Thus, these 6 temples face each other to form an isle. The Vishnu, Brahma, Angsa, Garuda, and Nandi temples have the same shape and size, with a square base plan measuring 50 meter two and 25 meter high at the north and south ends of each alley. There is a small temple facing each other called Chandi Abid.